Now that the holiday seasons are over, I think it's high time we turn our attention back to the medieval diorama project. And those of you with a good eye might have noticed that I've already made a few changes. Main one being I removed all of my Lord of the Rings MOCs and sets and really loose junk that I had on this side of the table and stored them in miscellaneous places throughout the room. Some of them I stored underneath my MOC table, and one day I want that to be a really cool under the table display scene, but for now it's kind of a little bit of a storage section. And I moved the Tower of Orthanc and one of my other MOCs over to the opposite side of the table. And by doing these little changes, I was actually able to gain a base plate and a half to add to the total length of this build. So it now measures 4 base plates by 6 base plates. And I feel like that's just gonna give all of the builds and structures that we are going to build throughout this series a little more breathing room that they desperately need. Now, if you haven't seen my video on Mills plating the BrickLink Designer Mountain Fortress, I highly recommend you check it out because it actually shows how I built the base. But in this video, I'm planning on actually raising it up just a little more. I'm thinking 1 to 2 more Duplo bricks just to give it a little more height to separate it from the terrain of the rest of the build, because I do want to add some elevation changes throughout this MOC. And I feel like it's just going to be really cool to have those elevation changes. And I also got a ton of pieces in over the holiday season for this project. So before we dive into any of the other things we're going to be working on today, I think we should check out those parts right now. So yeah, as you can see, I got a lot of pieces, and luckily for me, I do have the papers right here so we can see we got a lot of various pieces, some minifig parts, but a lot of vegetation and rockwork pieces as well. And this will just go to fueling various things throughout this build. The main thing, of course, though, being these 16 by 16 plates combined with this 2 by 4 brick. And before I can really start on working on anything on this project, I do need to sort out these pieces. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll be right back and we'll be able to work on this awesome project. All right, guys, it's the next day, and as you can see, I have finished sorting all the pieces. I just decided to take the rest of the day to finish sorting because I started a little later in the day, and there is a lot of stuff here. So let's take a little more in-depth look at the kind of pieces we have here. All right, so taking a closer look at some of the parts. First off, you can see we have a ton of 16 by 16 plates, both in dark tan and in green. And I think that is going to be really good for covering a lot of space, especially for the forest. But then I want kind of a barren wasteland feel in some areas and a lot of mud. And this is just one of the best Lego colors in my opinion. So I'm really excited to put those to good use. I've got some smaller plates right here to kind of make up some difference in height and do some terrain work, as well as some of these quarter round tiles and more angled plates. I also got a ton of vegetation pieces, some of these large limb elements, but then I also got some miscellaneous stems, some smaller leaf elements, as well as the generic leaf elements both in white, orange, and then over here I got them in olive and dark green. Got various arches to create some very nice trees, a few more leaf elements back here, and then some more brown pieces to create said trees. Got some bricks, got some connector pieces, and more inverted arches to create more root-like systems, and some snot bricks to add a little more detail. I also got a ton of pieces for rock work, like these 1x2 dark stone gray slopes And then these more angled slopes for corners. Got some 1x bricks, some panels in various sizes, both these 1x2 panels. And then back here, I got these 1x6 panels. I got a lot of these 2x4 sand blue bricks, I believe is the color, and they are really good for mills plating, and they're going to come in a lot of help when it comes to these 16x16 plates. And then I got a lot of these pre-molded rock pieces, and then some more random pieces. I got some of these cones to create some mushrooms for more vegetation, some skulls because why not, I can add them somewhere in there, and then some for minifigures. I got 20 of these really cool swords and 5 of these like Roman centurion type shields that I think I can make some pretty cool heavy duty Black Falcons with. Now, did I go a little bit overboard? Maybe, but I can definitely use all these pieces, and I don't think I've ever really done a big parts order like this and have exactly what I need on hand. So I am super excited to get building on this project, and I really love these dark tan 16x16 plates, and I'm really excited to put these to good use. I think this color is going to bring a lot of life and detail to this MOC. So I'm super excited to dive into all that. But before we start working with these 16x16 plates, I think we should go ahead and raise up the BrickLink Mountain Fortress using some Duplo bricks. If you've seen my video, you know I use them already to raise it up, I think 1 Duplo brick. But I want to raise it up 1 to 2 more bricks just to give it a little more elevation. And I got a bag of Duplo bricks waiting on me, so let's check those out right now. And they are right over here. Okay, can I just say that flipping that base over was quite possibly the most stressful thing I will do today. That was scary. It was cracking, it was giving way. You saw several pieces were falling off, but I think it's finally good to go. So let's take a look at it. For starters, you can see the height difference is massive. I think this is just what this build needed. It gives it way more height, and I just think it looks really good. And then the other thing is the base plates down below were kind of coming apart, so I used some of these 4x4 plates to kind of hold it more together, and I think that is going to pay off in the long run, making it a little more stable. So let's get the fortress itself back on display and see how it looks. Wow, I think it looks a ton better with this massive base. And side thing, I know I said I was going to start working on the landscape today, but I think I'm going to save that for another episode, because I think it's time that we just finish off this mills plate and use some of the new vegetation pieces and really give this the detail it so deserves. So let's work on that right now. I think the vegetation was definitely worth the time it took to build all the little different plants, as it just adds so much life and character to the build. And all in all, I'm super proud of how it turned out.
This is the end of this video, but if you want to see some more awesome content, there should be some videos popping up on your screen now. I'll try to do a medieval update maybe every other week so I can get some other content in on the channel, but I am super excited to invest more time in this build now that I have some parts to invest into it. Make sure you guys like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming updates, and comment below your thoughts on the build and any of your ideas you guys have, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Farewell.